Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex.
I'm Allison.
I'm David.
And we're your astute win counselors to get you through the week with any daily grind issues you may be experiencing or any problems you want us to resolve for you whatsoever. Let's get to our first winner. Our first winner is Jason from Englewood, Colorado, and he writes, Dear Win, I'm an extreme guy when it comes to attention to detail with my extreme auto detail center. What are you all extreme about? Allison, I can see you thinking there. What are you extreme about?
No, I feel like I'm extreme about a lot of things. Food. I'm definitely extreme about food.
Like a specific kind of cuisine or something, like if it's got to be good food or not, like can't be
I'm
Taco Bell.
pretty much like a dumpster. Like any trash is good.
All right.
Or any food.
Right.
Trash is good too. I'm really like a food dumpster.
Okay.
I'm extreme about food, and I'm always hungry.
Uh-huh.
I pretty much could eat 24/7, and yeah.
So do you snack or binge?
I snack. I like
Okay.
munch through the day.
Okay.
And I'm like, anything, literally anything. And I can't eat a lot of things because I have celiac disease, so I can't eat like bread and anything with gluten in it. So it's like this fad right now. Oh, excuse me. It's a fad right now that everybody's gluten-free, so it works perfectly. It works in my favor. I've had it since I was a baby, so it's like the best thing, the best fad that could ever happen.
Totally.
Because now I can just eat and eat and eat.
And people are marketing towards you. Like my cousin, he's also got celiac. Same thing.
Yeah.
Forever he could never eat anything, and now he can eat everything. Every restaurant's got some kind of gluten-free menu.
It's amazing. I had my first beer when I was 32. And it was life-changing.
Wow.
So I am extreme about food, drink, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I'm extreme about lists and paper lists.
Lists.
Making lists of things that never get done. So I'll make the extreme to-do list for the day, and then I'll never do it, but I don't want to throw it away because I might get to it the next day, but then I'll just start another list. So I'll put it on top of the list that I started the day before. And so actually, and then a month later, I have the same list for the entire month because I never did anything. So I'm a pretty extreme procrastinator.
So is it like,
I love that.
Do you handwrite these lists? Do you type them out or like Post-it notes all over your wall, or what are they like?
I don't type them, but a lot of Post-it notes, and that's why I have different colored Post-it notes because they all say the same thing basically. But, I just identified through this conversation I'm a procrastinator. So I'm probably extreme about not getting therapy to work out that issue. It has got something to do with probably a pet that I had.
There was a president that was like, his motto to his presidency was, why do today what I could put off until tomorrow? I cannot remember who it was, but I mean, hey, you're in good company if there was a president of the United
Was
States.
that Abraham Washington?
It could have been Abraham Washington.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, it was George Lincoln, actually.
It was it was Thomas Cleveland.
I thought it was John Wilkes Clinton.
There it is. That's the one.
It. That's the one. You know what? And that's kind of cool because, I'm so happy that Allison mentioned that. Because otherwise, I was really thinking about getting an intervention for you, Dave.
Yeah,
but the fact that if a president get away with it, then he's a genius.
You're a savant.
You're a savant, prodigious savant.
I'll take an intervention as long as it's got a dear so-and-so, I love you, and here I want to confront you about something.
You need to finish this list.
You got to finish this list.
Finish
Dave, finish the list.
Finish the list.
Extreme, Jason. Well, I don't know. I mean, some people say I'm pretty extreme because I'm just an idiot. The other reason people say I might be extreme is some of my activities. I like to do high-altitude mountaineering to high altitudes, extreme altitudes above 17,000 feet, and so on.
Idiot.
I know. That's exactly right. Because you would say, why would you want to go purposely, put yourself in a suffering position for weeks on end to go to extremely high altitudes where it's extremely cold, you can't breathe, and everything hurts to do from peeing to breathing, but yet you still continue.
And everything in between.
It sounds amazing. Have you done or are you going to do Everest?
Yes, no, I haven't yet, but I'm working on it. Yeah.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Like right now.
Yeah.
What was the last one that you did?
So the last high altitude mountain that I climbed was Denali, or AKA Mount McKinley in Alaska. So that's the highest mountain in North America. I also climbed the highest mountain in South America, which is Aconcagua, Sierra Aconcagua in Argentina.
What?
So I'm gonna work on completing the 7 summits, which are the highest points on each continent.
Not to freak you out, but I just read an article. I'm sure you've read it too, but I just read an article about how the frozen bodies of people on Everest are like now landmarks for the
Walt Disney
They're Pokestops,
Is Walt
actually.
Disney up
Well,
there?
they actually moved Walt Disney to Mount Everest.
He was like, guys, put me on Mount Everest and
It's
say like I
cheaper.
climbed it.
It's cheaper. No, it's just cheaper for cryogenic reasons.
Perfect.
Because it's really expensive to cool a body,
Yeah.
artificially, especially for the last 50 years or however long he's been dead.
Yeah.
But if you actually stick him on Everest, he's perfectly preserved.
It's really sad because I would climb Mount Everest before I would run a marathon.
Well,
I would climb mouse ears before I would.
climb on Everest.
You and your Disney.
Well, there you go. Let's go on to our next winner. Victoria from Phoenix, Arizona writes, Dear Win, I hear Colorado has a bunch of Arizona transplants living there these days. Any thoughts on why that is?
Because Arizona is hell.
Oh,
So there it
clear
is.
as day. That's it. Allison just put the gauntlet down, put the stake down in the
I
sand.
mean, it's very hot
It
there.
is hot.
Although I will say, don't move here because it's super hot here too. It's awful. Bye.
I would say don't move here so our property prices don't continue to escalate. So stay there, Victoria.
Yeah.
Um,
They're going to legalize weed there soon, I'm sure. Right?
That will change
So,
everything.
Yeah. Everybody just stay where
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Weed will be legal soon.
and then they'll have to come here and, should I say, well, I don't want to say infest our state with
no, that's
transits
what's
from
happening. That's
yeah,
what's happening.
Let's be honest.
I mean-
infesting our state, raising our property values, denigrating our city, and so on.
I'd say don't move here because winters are
Coming. They're coming.
so cold
Oh,
here.
it's gonna be
And if
bad.
you're from a hot climate,
Yeah,
and
you're
actually
gonna die.
people have died just having.
There are bodies that are landmarks here. Frozen
Absolutely.
bodies,
and the
landmarks.
snowflakes
Yep.
are dangerous.
There's-
Like there's golf ball type snowflakes, and
It'll
you can
put your eye out.
Yep.
put your eye out. It'll give you a tumor.
There's
Yeah.
He's on fire!
absolutely.
that happens.
That does happen. Matter of fact, Lookout Mountain's now a Pokestop with all the frozen dead bodies up there. It's so cold. I mean, winter is coming in. It's been known in Colorado that the winters can last like 9 years, like
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones.
It is so much like
And
that.
shovels are heavy.
And we
Yeah.
have dead frozen zombie people, the White Walkers. We
Yep.
have those here. We have those here in Denver.
On the 60th Street Mall.
The whole, yes, actually
act-
the whole state of Colorado.
Actually, the whole state of Colorado used to be a cemetery.
It did.
So it's
Cheeseman,
haunted.
yeah, Cheeseman Park used to be a big cemetery
So the
Oh, that's
botanical garden.
on the rails.
And how do you think all those flowers grow over there? From all the dead bodies,
Exactly.
fertilizing them.
That's
So
why they have
basically-
10-foot tall roses.
Yes. Don't come here.
Don't
Whatever
come
you're
here.
doing, it's awful
Victoria,
here.
stay in Phoenix.
It's
Roses have thorns.
the worst.
Ow.
Tim from South Beach, Florida writes, Dear Win, not only have drug overdoses reached an all-time high in the U.S., but STDs as well. Any suggestions on how we can reverse these alarming trends? We kind of touched on it a little bit. Stay home. No,
And
Become a nun
Don't be stupid.
or become a monk.
yeah.
oh, that's a good point.
And it's all about pleasure within one's soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing against like nuns or priests or monks being like into tantric stuff
Right.
where it's like,
Right.
no touch. You're just like, oh,
Like-
and it's like, oh, that was great.
That was so
Mm.
cool. Because
Yeah.
you were like behind glass on display.
Yes.
Just, oh man, that's amazing. Every day can look at you,
Yeah.
but don't touch. And monks are often drunks, right?
Monks are
Some monks
I
are
had
drunk.
not
Yeah.
heard that. I had not heard
Yeah,
that.
monks
That's
are
an
drunks.
interesting fact.
Yeah, they invented brewing beer, so that's a great
Those
tradition.
dirty birds.
But there's a nun chakra order
Yeah.
that they practice self-chakraing.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like people should definitely stop being a little bit stupid too, maybe.
That's a
because,
good point.
Like we've known about STDs now, for like since the 80s at least.
At
Like been
least.
talking about them.
Right.
We've known about them since like the 50s, but
Right.
we've been talking about it since like the 80s.
Right.
So at this point, it's just kind of like, you know what?
Use a condom.
Wear the raincoat.
Right.
You know, that's
What a
what they used to
thought.
call it.
Yeah,
Wear
what a
the
thought.
raincoat.
And maybe the person that you're
Just
interacting with, you should know.
That might-
Yeah.
that's a
Really
good
get to
point.
know 'em.
Yeah.
I think too many girls like have that conversation like, oh, how many partners have you had? And then her boyfriend's like, oh, like 5 or 6. And then the girl's like, 5 or 6, you're gross. But instead be like, that's hot. And I'm the one you're with now.
That's a good point.
Put the Jimmy hat on.
And when you can buy a portable lie detector kit nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
on your first Tinder date, just hook it right up there.
Sorry, we have
you
to
know,
do this.
You
I'm
want to
just
have this
saying.
shot? Well, you have to take this lie detector test first.
Do you have an STD?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nope. Boom.
You said no, but this says yes.
And that doesn't.
How about a date?
What a thought. You mean date a couple
How
times?
about a
first?
date and then drinks instead of just no drinks and
Well, we know what Kyle thinks about that.
Newsville.
Yeah. Well, this day and age is a little bit different, isn't it, buddy?
Or just like go like your first date could be like going to get the test.
Good idea.
Like you guys just
go to Planned
together.
Parenthood together. That's
You're
romantic.
Like, hey, let's
Taco
do
Bell,
this.
Planned Parenthood, and a candle.
I think that sounds phenomenal.
Phenomenal. I think that's a great idea, Allison.
You have speed STD testing.
And then your second, no, because your second date, this is what makes it romantic. Is your second date, you can meet back up and go get your results.
Oh,
Right?
that's so cool. Yeah, that's
Oh, it's
awesome.
So sweet.
That is so
and you
sweet.
could have tea and coffee.
tea and coffee.
Yes.
Because you want to have a couple crackers as you're anticipating the result.
Right.
And a biscotti.
Biscotti.
There's
without
nothing,
Nothing-
more intense than a biscotti
Right.
to create a relationship.
Nothing brings people closer
than biscotti.
than an intense biscotti moment.
Without a
Almond
doubt.
biscotti.
Oh, you're getting great.
And if the STD test comes back wrong, it might look like the almonds that you're eating on the biscotti.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. And if nothing else, that second date at least has a very clear direction on where date number 3 is going.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
180.
Because then it's not awkward. Like nobody has to break up with each other because if the tests come back and there's a problem, like both of you need to be fair and be like, well,
The answer's in the question.
obviously it didn't
Yep.
work out because I've got this and you don't.
And you don't.
And you know what, though? You know what is going to work out? One more little piece of inspiration gets you the rest of the week, known as Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey, Horoscope Corner. This is Leo. End of the month, Leo, October. Love is in the lines for Leo at the end of October. So, hey, Leo, go tell the one you love them. Tell the one that you need to make up with that you still love them because love is in the air for Leo. Buy a heart. Put your little heart around your chest where your heart beats. Share your love. Call your enemies. Say, I love you. That's your Leo. Join us for World Improv and Network on AM 1340, FM 104.7, at Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net. Join us at YouTube at World Improv Network, also available on Twitter and podcasts. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show. See you next week.